Today on Talkback, we have a new senator, and with us, thank you very much. I know you've had a busy day today. Congressman of Ilocos Norte to Philippine Senator, we have Ferdinand Bongbong.
On an anti-corruption platform. And so to enumerate the problems that he faced, and these are basically corrupt practices that he had highlighted. So that was more or less expected. But for me, more than anything else, is that he seems to have hit the main areas, or spoken about the main areas, hit the high points as to what are the areas that really need to be looked at, to focus on, and to attend to. The measures, the actual concrete measures that he proposed, they're a good first step. You can see that it is the beginning of an administration. And I think that as the time goes on, as a beginning, this is all right. But as time goes on, I think people will, his people and the Filipino citizens will find that the problems are, once you've solved the specifics that we spoke about today, that there are some even more deep-seated problems. For example, the extension of education from 10 to 12 years, that's a good measure, it's necessary. But the real problem in our education is the dropout rate. And that's something that needs to be attended to. He spoke about the NFA and grains, and again, and
the over-importation.
The over-importation, but that was the corruption side. But he also spoke about infrastructure build-up as to the system of the NFA. He was talking about different centers, etc., etc.
Okay, so you were telling me that he exposed supposedly some anomalies or alleged anomalies, or he raised some problems out in the open and then had solutions for every particular problem that he raised. Was that something that you think was in the speech?
Maybe not. As I said, it's a good some first step.
Yeah.
We're moving in the right direction. We just have to continue to do that.
Okay, now, as lawmakers, on how the president should proceed with the handling supposedly of these alleged anomalies that, of course, will have to be substantiated. How do you think the president or the administration of Aquino should deal with these alleged anomalies that he has brought out into the open?
I think, generally speaking, when it comes to a leadership question, the moral issue is an issue that can only be addressed properly by a national leader, for example. By example, I mean not only in the way that you live your life or the way you do your work, but also in that you are very robust and rigorous in your prosecution of those that
okay, will the Senate, under the Blue Ribbon Committee, take a crack at all of these alleged anomalies? Is this
undoubtedly
something worthwhile for the Senate in aid of legislation?
Undoubtedly, this is going to be a subject that will be coming up in the near future. All of these anomalies that were brought up, we all sort of suspected that something wrong was going on, but it's really the very first time that somebody has opened the books and said, "Look what's been happening." So we would like to see the rest of the
from your past 30 minutes or 15, whatever it is. That has been repeated. You've listened to State of the Nation addresses all these years, Bongbong. Is there a necessity for him to repeat that? Is this for the sake of the investing community out there?
I think that is again because his focus was small and medium enterprises, small SMEs. That was what he was looking to help. The political influence is not quite as important as it used to be.
But these foreign investors will have to go through the local government to be able to get their permits and all of their licenses, and this is where it seems that there is a perception that is where corruption is at its highest.
Well, yes, but at the same time, if we do not have that healthy business atmosphere to begin with, then that problem doesn't even come up because they don't apply for business licenses and the like. So again, as a first step, this is progress. In terms of legislation, again, these are areas that have been spoken about in great detail, and it's good a great deal. But we need more detail. We need to know precisely what the measures are, what the numbers are going to be, what the percentages are, all of those things, because it's very hard to make a judgment on a measure. God is in the details, as they say. So we really would need to see those to be able to make an assessment of whether or not this would be as effective as we hope it would be.
Okay, welcome back to the State of the Nation Address Special of ANC, and you are watching Talkback. Still with us, newly elected Senator Bongbong Marcos. Rupert Manuel, I'll include corn, coconut, and vegetable farmers, particularly on support price and farm input subsidy. From Felina Bravo, I wish he included a statement on stopping deficit spending so that the country does not go bankrupt. From Bernardo Gomez, I could have asked him to add the issue about gargantuan anomalies at the GSIS. From Eduardo Camotohan, I hope the President talks also about the corrupt system of the LTO, which has a bigger problem here in South Cotabato. Jonas of Pampanga, it's direct to the point. I love it. I won't add more kasi step-by-step naman yan diskarte niya kung alin ang uunahing pagbabago. Tama naman,
yeah,
no?
We did not hear about the OFWs. They are essentially a sector that is propping up our economy, and they go through terrible injustices when they're abroad. It doesn't matter what they suffer. The only solution that we can provide them is to bring them home. They do not get justice, they're just sent home. They're instead of getting justice in the places that they stay. So we really considering how much money they bring home. We are like the fourth largest. We get the fourth largest remittances of any country in the world. And of the billions of dollars that they send home, maybe we could use some of that to support them better, considering the importance of what they're doing to the rest of the country. So that was something that I was waiting for, and was just a touch surprised that he did not touch. There is a shortage of funding.
He should just start getting it from the pork barrel and say, okay.
That's not the first place, because that's not for example, that's not the greatest place. Because may natutulungan naman ang pork barrel. Kahit papano, the pork barrel, if you want to call it the PIDAF, the CDF in our time, whatever you want to call it, there are projects that come out of that. The worry that people have is that there are abuses. Okay, so address that. But think about all of those areas that he mentioned where corruption was rife. If you total all of that and fix those problems, then
that's not even the total of all the.
And if it's not yet enough, then maybe you can look into but that should not be number one on the list, because there are some more egregious expenses in the government.
But as a gesture, should it not come from the lawmaker? Maraming salamat. That's all the time we have. Talk to us again next week on Talk.